What's going on YouTube? It is Texans Takeover back with another video. In today's video, we have another 7-round mock draft. You can see the draft order changed slightly for the Texans. I think we went from 22 to 23. Washington Commanders picked it, ended up going from, I think it was at 8, went up to 7, so we now have 39 and 107 in the draft. Giants stayed at number 1, so we still have pick number 65. And we have a total of 8 picks in 7 rounds in this draft, 4 in the top 100, and 1 inching near that top 100 down here in the early 4th round. I don't think we have any compensatory picks in this draft. We'll see how free agency goes. We'll see who we put our restricted free agent rights on, and see if we pick up a draft pick any way in that regard. But yeah, for now we have 8 draft picks. And moved back in the first due to us beating the Raiders. Pretty awful game, but yeah, we'll just start it out. Sticking at number 23, I think that's the pretty obvious selection to stay. I don't think we should really give up any capital to move up. You can see Caleb Banks went pretty early on at number 14. You could consider going the interior defensive line with how they performed. Also, Peter Woods went pretty high. Wide receivers were going at a premium early on. Mekhi Lemon, Carnell Tate did. Yeah, Jordan Tyson went early as well. So, here at number 23, you have guys that I really like Kenyon Sadiq, who can play tight end, but I think, the Texans have Dalton Schultz for one more year. They have Stover. They have even guys on the practice squad that I like Luke Lockey, who I really liked at Iowa. And I think it's pretty obvious what we do. It's either interior offensive line, exterior offensive line, and I think Francis Mauigoa played excellent against A&M in the college football playoff first round, and I think he could play tackle or guard in the NFL. So, yeah, I'm going Francis Mauigoa there with our first pick to be the Texans' potential right tackle next year, or switch him to guard. You can see he played right tackle at Miami throughout the entire year. Probably been the best offensive lineman in this class in terms of tape. Him and Ione have been both great. I think Mauigoa has been the best tackle in terms of film, and then obviously Ione best in terms of guard. Can't really say Mauigoa has been the best in terms of a guard, because although he projects as a guard in the NFL, he's a true tackle in college. So that's why the pick does go there. Here at number 39, I would have loved to go back to Amari Washington, but I'm glad they picked him, so I can't go with the same guy twice. Would have liked for Christian Miller to fall. Emmanuel Pregnon's still here. I don't know why they value him so low. And I think this could be a trade down spot. Does anyone have 2 second-round picks that we could look at acquiring? I mean, ourselves, but other than that, you have the Jets here at 45. Maybe that's something intriguing. We can look to the Jets here. Where are they? Are they interested? Or, no, they're not. I just can't see the Jets for some reason. New England, New York, and New York Jets. They don't really have anything. Maybe like Ravens. They have 7. Would they give 46 and 78? Nah, maybe like 114 and 153 or 143. I want something in the 90s. So yeah, like 46, 97, and then like 154. We'll offer that trade, see if they accept it. It gets accepted, so we move back 8 spots, pick up 3 more picks in this draft. I do like that because, I didn't really like any of the options there for the Texans here at, was 39. But down here at 47, someone talked about it in the last comment section, talking about how good they thought A.J. Halsey is. I've dug more into his tape. I really like the player. I think he does fit what the Texans want to do. I really like Emmanuel McNeil-Warren at the safety spot. I like Halsey, and then obviously in the first round you have your where did he went 3? Geez, Caleb Downs. Those are my 3 favorite safeties in this draft. I don't mind Kamari Ramsey. I'm not too big of a fan of Dylan Tinnaman, but I mean, he was great against James Madison, but at the end of the day, it is James Madison. Not to say they're a bad team, but obviously just not to the standard of an Oregon. So Yeah, I think I just pretty much hinted at my pick here. It's going to be AJ Halsey here at number 47 to really bolster that safety group that does need help opposite of Caleb Bullock or just even some depth there, to be honest. So, yeah, AJ Halsey is going to be the pick. You go one offensive, one defensive to start. Then 8 picks later, you have another pick. You could look wide receiver if you want, a deep threat or a guy that can just catch the ball. You could go a guy that can catch the ball in Skylar Bell. Not many deep yards. He's a slot receiver. You can go with Antonio Williams, who can catch the deep ball pretty well, but also a slot receiver. Nick Anderson's not played great this year, but I think definitely has more catches than that. Only 12 on the year. That seems awfully low. CJ Daniels can catch the deep ball as well. Um, Been decent for Miami this year. I do like Malachi Tony, who they have there too. If you want another deep threat, Jacoby Lane, that's USC's deep threat when they have Makai Lemon just doing all the dirty work. Kind of the Emeka Ibuka type thing is what Makai Lemon does. This is another deep threat in Chris Brazzell. I really like Chris Bell's game if you want a deep threat there, um, but obviously got hurt. I think he tore his ACL, which kind of sucks, or something with his knee. So you could look wide receiver because I think the Texans are desperately missing an edge threat there. But I think you could also argued to bolster the interior offensive line. Some people did say they like Slaughter over Lou. I definitely tried to watch their games, not simultaneously, but one right after the other to see how they stack up, what are their differences. I do really like Connor Lou's game. I think he's a very good all around center, but I think Slaughter grades well. I think he looks like a prototypical center as well. And so for that, Jake Slaughter is going to be my pick because I do think you can replace the Jake with another Jake. Jake Andrews out for Jake Slaughter, and I think we have an upgrade there at the center position. Here at number 65, I think this is where you could go into your defensive line. I was considering, did he go early? Where is he? Oh, I was debating Dante Corleone at number 47, but I saw AJ Halsey there, and I do like the player. Here at number 65, I do think after Dominique Orange, there's quite a significant drop off. Had a really, really good 2024 in terms of grades. Doesn't really get to the quarterback all too often, but he's very good at stopping the run, in my opinion. But I guess they see it as equal. Another guy that's good at getting to the quarterback is Skylar Gill Howard from that interior spot, so maybe that's something you want to look at. CJ Fight, another good run defender in there. Darrell Jackson Jr., another good run defender in there. So it's really your pick. Um, Again, you could go linebacker here for the Texans. Just really look to bolster a group that needs some more athleticism in there, but not really many athletes. I think Whit Weeks might go back to college. And he's also not the best in coverage. Jake Golday can be someone that is an intriguing option, but I think he would be there at your next pick, maybe at 97. So there's not a lot to do here, really. You could go Jadarian Price if you want to. LJ Martin's in here now. Pretty good back for BYU. Had over 1,300 yards. I think like 1,600 from scrimmage. Seth McGowan's also a decent back. Willed Kentucky to a couple touchdowns throughout the year. Yeah, 12 total. Also not a bad back. I guess some guys are starting to declare that they're adding to their site. I do really like Le'Veon Moss's game. I just think he gets injured a little too much for my liking. Um, Mark Fletcher had a great game against A&M. Yeah, 82.7 just really willed that team to that win. And maybe that's someone you can consider later in the draft. Raleek Brown, excuse me, is also a very good back over 1,000 yards. Justice Haynes was great in the games that he played. Had some weird type of injury halfway through the year that just shut him down. I like Emmett Johnson's game too. I think one of my favorite running backs in this class later in it. Um, but yeah, here at 65, you could go a lot of different places. I talked about him earlier on, though. I'm just going to go Dominique Orange to really solidify that interior defensive line that needs a lot of help, in my opinion, due to the injuries that have occurred this year. Um, and Emmett Johnson did go. That kind of sucks a little bit, but you're not going to get everyone you want in these mock drafts. Here at 97, though, we will look to the linebacker core. Did he go to? Um, Yeah, Jake Golday went as well. I don't think Jacob Rodriguez really translate to the NFL that well, so I'm gonna hold off on that. And here at 97, it's really a guy that can come and make an impact on your team. Um, and you could look a lot of different areas. And we'll see what tackles are there. Xavier Chaplin's still there if you want a guy that can do that. Um, I saw Caden Green there. I thought, yeah, Caden Green, a guy that can play guard for you if you want to. Been very good for Missouri this year. You can see that the height and weight really shows you that he's probably a guard in the NFL. Um, and I don't think we have gone guard. We've gone center, we've gone tackle, and I think this is a spot that you could really consider guard. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go Caden Green here at number 97. Jake Rodriguez goes right before my pick. I already said I don't really like him, but kind of funny that all the linebackers just decide to go off the board before I'm up. Here at number 107, you can see we've gone pretty much offensive line, interior offensive line. So you're really looking at linebacker now. Um, these project guys, these Harold Perkins, Samuel Omosigo, excuse me, who I thought was decent against Alabama, but then fell apart in the second half. The whole team did, but really good against the run. Trey Moore's pretty good all-around linebacker, someone that you could definitely consider. Um, midway through the fourth or early in the fourth round. Yeah, early in the fourth round. Um, you know, pretty bulky linebacker there. You're looking for an athlete here, in my opinion. I think Austin Romaine's also a very good athlete. We'll see how he runs and stuff like that, but you can see not the biggest linebacker. He was great last year, apparently. I haven't watched much Kansas State, to be honest. It's just not a team I really get around to, but definitely going to watch more of Austin Romaine's game. I do really like him as a run defender. I think his coverage grade's a little bit better than that. And misses a good amount of tackles, apparently, but yeah, I think probably the best all-around linebacker left on the board, and I think it might be a little bit of a reach at this spot of the draft, but you're kind of just looking at guys that can come in and make an impact, and maybe you want to go with a guy that can bomb down the field. Eric Singleton's pretty small, but can wiggle through, kind of like another Jalen Knoll. I think if you want your deep threat, it's going to be Nick Harbour down the board probably, um, or Aaron Anderson, who's kind of like a Jalen Knoll as well, but I think has a little bit more burners to him. Um, so not much really in any department unless you want to look at the running backs here, and take your first one of the day. Um, I like Mark Fletcher's game, and it might be a little bit of a reach to some, but I'm gonna go with him there at number 107. Here at number 123, this is where I'm likely to go with Austin Romaine to bolster the linebacker position, get an athlete in there that can cover running backs out the backfield. I think we are kind of missing that a little bit. I did this pick in the last draft here at 154. I really like Cleve Lubin's game. Um, you know, 19 sacks in the last 2 years in college, just really good production. I think, it'd be silly not to pick him here if he's all the way down there at 154. I think he might go a little bit earlier just due to college production. Some teams bank on that in their scouting reports. Here at 162, I talked about, potentially excuse me, your deep threat wide receiver down the board. And Nick Harbour is still here. I'm going to go with him at 162. And then I think we have one more pick at 236 left in this draft. And we do here in the seventh round. Um, let's go Diego Pavia, guys. Uh, hmm. It's really just what guy do you want to come in and compete. I think Jonte Cook's a very quick wide receiver. So maybe you go another deep threat there, but um, I like Dylan Bell's game for Georgia. Has some good flashes in there. Amari Campbell's a decent athlete at the linebacker position. Another guy that you could look to be the athlete. You can see he's just a little undersized though, so I think he does go back to Penn State for another year. Jake Retzlaff was great for Tulane this year at the QB position, losing his head coach, but can run the ball at the quarterback position, which maybe you look to a backup quarterback here and just go with like a Nico Yamalava. Um, I'm not gonna do that though. I like Dean Connor's game a lot actually. Just doesn't find the end zone for U of H a lot. But you know, I think that's part of just U of H's scheme. Um, Dante Daddle's not too bad. Just second fiddle to Mr. Where is he? Where'd he go? Where is he? Oh, there. Seth McGowan, who goes to the Chiefs. I guess they didn't get Jeremiah Love. But yeah, decent running back in Seth McGowan. I think Dante Dowdle is just a second fiddle to him, but not a bad running back by any means. I think definitely someone you can consider in the seventh round. I just want to see who got. Oh, Cardinals got Jeremiah Love again. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go Dante Dowdle to finish out this draft, and that is all I believe. We'll see how PFF grades my draft. They would have rather keep Keith Abney instead of Jake Slaughter. Overall, we got another C plus. They do actually really like that Dante Dowdle pick at the end of the draft. They don't like the Nick Harbor, Romaine, or Fletcher picks. So two backs in this class for the Texans in Fletcher and um, Dowdle. But yeah, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. I know y'all are loving these 7 round mock drafts, so yeah, let me know what y'all think. I'll zoom out a little bit for y'all so y'all can see everything in case you couldn't beforehand. So, Mino in the first, Halsey in the second, Slaughter in the third, or Slaughter in the second, excuse me. Dominique Orange in the third, alongside Caden Green. Two picks in the fourth were Mark Fletcher and Austin Romaine. In the fifth, we got Cleve Lubin and Nick Harbor, and then in the seventh, we got finishing out our draft Dante Dowdle. So two running backs, a lot of interior offensive line and defensive linemen. So yeah, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. And as always, it's Texans Takeover, and I'm out. Peace.